Hey guys, Cody with Princess Craft RV. Come along with me today as we go through this 2020 Aliner Scout Parks Edition. All right guys, let me show you how to get this thing hooked up to your tow vehicle. Manual top line crankjack here for raising and lowering the tongue. Crank it up, goes up, crank it down, goes down. Gonna ride on a 2-inch ball. Once you get your tow vehicle backed under it, lower it down onto it, and to get it to latch, all you have to do is push that over and make sure that it does indeed lock in place. This latch right here should latch into there, and you shouldn't be able to lift it. To release it, all you have to do is, again, pinch up on that and pop it forward, and that's gonna release you from the ball. A couple other things that do need to be hooked up to the tow vehicle. We're gonna have our safety chains here. These do need to cross underneath the tongue, and they're gonna hook up to the receiver hitch. In the state of Texas, it is actually illegal for these to drag the ground while you are in tow. So there are some products, if your chains are really close to the ground, that you can use to keep them up out of the way, but still utilize them. We've got our safety breakaway cable here. This needs to be hooked up to the receiver hitch as well, and it needs to be on its own clip or some way of attaching it to the receiver hitch without fishing it through the chains and putting it on a chain, one of the chain clips there. It needs to be its own thing because it's got to work separately from everything else. It's designed to be yanked out of this little plastic black box over here, which is a safety breakaway. If you were to actually get separated while towing, this thing's going to yank out and apply the 12-volt brakes on the trailer and bring this thing to a stop. We've also got your 7-way plug here. This thing's going to control all your lights, your tail lights, running lights, turn signals, brake lights, and it's also going to control the electric brakes on the trailer through this connector if your tow vehicle is equipped with a brake control. Sitting right back behind that right here is going to be your battery. It's going to sit in a battery box. It's going to be a 12-volt deep cycle lead acid battery. It's going to require some maintenance, checking the water levels, making sure everything is good there. Keeping it charged up is ideal. You don't want it discharging too much. These are going to be all your cables that are going to hook up to it. You know, there's quite a few cables here. Some of them are marked, some of them are not. They will be hooked up accordingly here at Princess Craft. If you ever need to change your battery out on your own, I recommend marking them somehow or taking a picture prior to taking them all off so you make sure and get them back the right way. This little tray right here is typically where propane would sit on the Scout Parks Edition. There is no propane, so let's move on around. Right up here up front on the off-door side of the trailer, we're going to find your portable solar port where you can hook up a solar panel to help keep the 12-volt battery charged up. Great option if you like to dry camp or you just need to dry camp. Behind that, we're going to find a couple of manufacturer stickers there. The top one there is going to be your tire identification information with tire pressure, tire size. The one below that's going to be all your trailer information with the VIN, production date, all that good stuff. While we're talking about tires, wheel and tires, check your pressures regularly, check your torque specs regularly. We always recommend before every trip retorquing lug nuts. Aliner says the first 10, 20, and 50 miles to check them on the first trip. So these two black vents here on the side are going to be for access to your refrigerator. So not a whole lot in here for you, especially on this unit, because this is a this is going to be a compressor fridge in this one since it's the Parks model. So the only thing in here really is just going to be your 110 outlet cords over here on the left. It's going to be this guy right here, and it kind of plugs in up here. It's kind of hard to see. It's tucked in right behind this brace work. But this is a compressor fridge, so you do have to have 110 power in order for this thing to work. That's the only way it's going to cool off. But being a compressor fridge, it's going to cool off really quick, probably just a couple hours versus 12 to 24 hours as a typical RV fridge. Now, if you get in here for any reason and you need to put these covers back on, make sure when you get them snapped all the way on, and make sure you lock these clips down in the bottom corners. The little groove in them needs to be running this direction here. If you don't get these latched on, I get calls about these missing all the time. So make sure they get latched on good. Make sure you get them locked in there and you'll be good to go. Just underneath that, down here underneath the trailer, we're gonna find your drain outlet. 1.5 inches fitting here, you'll need to get an adapter that goes from 1.5 inches down to 3/4 inch water hose, and then you'll just run your water hose either to a tote tank or to an on-site dump. It is just sink water, but to stay park compliant, you do need it draining into some type of collection device, so it's not just draining out on the ground. Moving back from there, we're going to have your 30 amp 110 service connection. So let me show you how this all hooks up here. We've got 3 prongs, 2 somewhat flat and one's going to be pretty much an L shape. Same thing's going to be on the trailer side. All we've got to do is match up those 2 L-shaped ones, put that on, give it a little twist to the right, and then secure it with the lock ring. You do want to make sure that you have a good tight connection here. If it is loose and jiggling around, you can get some heat buildup, cause melting on the connections there, or some intermittent power issues for yourself. So make sure you get that good and tight. Just behind that, we're going to find your fresh water connection. This trailer is only equipped with a city water connection. There is no fresh water tank on board. So the only way to get water in it is going to be to hook up to a city water connection with a water hose and a water pressure regulator. Moving on around to the back side of the trailer here, we're going to mount your license plate over here on the left side. It's going to have a clear light that does shine down. This trailer is equipped with rear stabilizers only. So we're going to have the slotted drive type here. You're just going to fit that on there, and then you can just crank these up and down. Now again, remember, these are just stabilizers. They are not for leveling or lifting the trailer. Once you get the trailer leveled side to side and front to back, then you'll run your stabilizers down and snug them to the ground. I was talking about how Aliner recommends their retorquing 10, 25, and 50 miles there per their notice on the side of the trailer. This is going to be the exterior portion of our air conditioner. If you are going to be using the air conditioner, make sure you remove this cover. It is just snaps, so you just unsnap it here. You're going to just slide this thing off, and then it'll need to be stored inside the trailer or in a drawer in the vehicle, whatever works for you. When that thing's running, again, it'll be normal if you do see condensation dripping or anything like that. So single step entry here. So to store this thing, all we've got to do is pick up on it and slide it in. Just like that, it's going to lock into place. You'll see right here on the sidebars, it's kind of like a leg, if you will. So once that thing slides all the way in, it should drop onto the bar there. So it's not going to just pull out. To get it to deploy, you do have to pick up on the step and then pull it out, and it drops right into place. Last thing out here, let me show you how to use the door hold back here. T-style, it's just going to swing open, and then all you got to do is fit that into there, and that'll hold your door open. The only caution I give to that is a plastic holdback. If you forget about your door being latched back and you want to close it and you yank that door, you may break that. So just remember, I've got my door latched, don't break it. All right, I think that covers everything on the outside of our Scout Parks. Let's go check out the inside. All right, guys, coming just inside the door of our Scout Parks here, just a couple things inside the door. It's going to be your fire extinguisher. In this unit, we're actually going to have an extinguisher with a gauge on it. So if it's in the green, you're good to go. If it's anywhere else, it's probably time to get it replaced. Switch right behind that's going to be an on-off switch just for this light right here for the entry into the trailer to light your way. This black vent right here is going to be for the fresh air return for the air conditioner right here. And while we're talking about air conditioner, let me show you how this thing works. So we've got a handful of different buttons on here. So if we turn our power on, you can see here it's saying that it's going to be 60 degrees, or at least that's what it's going to try to achieve, right? We can select our modes here. So we've got cool, fan, so the fan only, then you can change your fan speed. Dry mode is going to be kind of like a dehumidifier. And then we have energy saver, which is just going to consume less energy but still cool. So cool mode is probably going to be your best bet. Fan speed here, you can cycle F1, F2, F3. Again, your power mode, and then you can set a timer on it if you want to set it to shut off at a different time. All right. So up here at the front of the trailer is going to be your dinette slash bedding area. So let me show you how to make this down into a bed real quick. First things first, we've got to take our tabletop, give it a little jiggle there and remove it from the post. Then remove your post from the floor. So now this unit has slats that are stored right up here that are going to lay on these bars. All we've got to do is stand our cushions up. Once you get all four of those out, just going to lay them on here, space them out kind of evenly there, if you will. And then all we've got to do is lay our cushions out. Like so, and that makes our optional bed. A couple other things up here in the area, so let me pull all these cushions up and I'm going to show you what else is up here. Now that we've got all that taken down, there is an outlet under here. So you do have access to 110 up here at the front of the trailer. To plug in things underneath here. We also have a big storage compartment. Got another large storage on the other side. And then we also have some storage up here. This is also going to be access for you know, us if we need to work on the lighting or anything for the exterior of the trailer. So your big skylight domes here are equipped with shades. So all you have to do is pull these up like that, and that's going to help block off lighting and give you some privacy. Lighting in here, just a single light here with a switch on it, one on each end of the trailer. Overhead, we do have a vent. It's got a lock switch on it, or a lock knob, if you will. So when you go to lock this thing, it's not going to turn all the way to lock. Just turn it until it stops. To unlock it, you're just going to turn it the other way. Then you can crank your lid up. And then you have a 3-speed setting here. And then you have a selection for whether you want the air pulled in or pulled out. You just choose whichever one you want to use. And there you go. When you close it down, just remember to re-lock the travel lock here. A couple things to check on this. If you're having operational issues, this is going to be a fuse here. The other thing is the lid is equipped with what's called a lid switch. Sometimes those we've seen them get hung, and when you raise the lid, that switch doesn't pop up and it won't allow the fan to operate. Sometimes if you just lower the lid and pop it a couple times, it'll open up. One last thing up here in the front dinette area, there is a 12-volt outlet up there for you that you can plug in 12-volt accessory. So this is equipped, as I said, with a dormer style fridge. It's going to be a 110 compressor fridge. So this is just the inside of it. Control setting right up here in the top for temperature, and that's really about it. Not a whole lot here. Other than that, just remember to make sure you get that strap back in place when you get ready to travel. Sink operation, again, this with A-liners, they use these rotatable heads, so you make sure and get them stowed all the way when you lay the walls down. And then water control is just going to be opening and closing with the lever there. Underneath, we do have some storage. Again, you've got some drain down there, so just be cautious that you don't break your drain or anything like that for the sink. Another 110 outlet back here, GFCI outlet. It's going to have a test reset button on it. With different lights. So if it's tripped, the amber light's going to be on. You know, reset it, make sure everything works for you there. So let me get all these cushions out of the way and we'll show you the back side of the trailer. So up on the opposite side of the roof vent, you'll find your 9-volt smoke alarm. Got a 9-volt battery in it. Just test it periodically, make sure it's still working as it should, replace the battery as needed. So that'll move us back here into our couch area. So as it sits right now, you'll see our cushions are stacked in here to make our couch. Now to pull this thing out into a bed, We've got to undo this little bungee strap right here, so that's going to help hold this bottom slider piece in place. Undo that, all you have to do is slide this out and then slide these two cushions down into place. As so. And that makes your main bed in this A-liner. Putting them back up is just going to be the opposite. Let's just stand these up. Slide this board all the way back. Don't forget to bungee it. And right back into a couch for you. A couple other things back here. We've got your WFCO power distribution panel. Inside you're going to find 12-volt fuses, 110 breakers. Breakers on the left, fuses on the right. Typical blade fuses, automotive style. You can buy these fuses anywhere if you need them. It's a good idea to keep some on hand just in case. We've got another GFCI outlet over here next to the couch area. Again, test and reset. If it's tripped, check it out. See if you can figure out what's going on. You may have plugged something into it that tripped it. So underneath your couch back here, do have some large storage cabinets, as you can see there. And then we've got another one on this side. And then each side of your wheel well here, you have a little bit of storage access as well. Also, you'll find your air conditioner plug here. So this is where the AC is plugged in, and it does have a GFCI type reset on it. So also another good place to check if maybe your air conditioner is not working. And last but not least, we've got a light back here. I think that pretty much covers everything on the interior of your Scout Parks model. So let me show you how to do the roof panels. All right, guys, so doing the walls in the roof panels, before you do anything as far as lowering any of that down, you'll want to make sure everything inside the trailer is below this hinge line that runs all the way around the trailer. All your cushions, anything else that you've added in here needs to be below that. Don't forget to put your faucet head down, and don't forget to turn your lights off. Now I'm going to leave the lights on just for videoing, otherwise it may be difficult to see. But first things we're going to do after we get to this point is unlatch both of our rear latches. Once we get that done, we're going to go ahead and lay this wall down over here by doing that. And then this rubber bumper is going to sit right on that cabinet top. And now to do this wall, before we do anything, we've got to unlatch the entry door. So we're just going to flip that, and that's going to free up this top section to swivel separately. Now when I close the door side wall, I like to grab the door here, and I like to put my other hand right inside the door frame, because you're going to need to control this so it doesn't hit the roof panel. Like so. Now once we get outside, we can close our roof panels. You're going to grab the rear roof panel, and all you're going to do is give it a good tug down. And it's just going to collapse on down for you. Now once you get it down, all you've got to do is latch it. And there's going to be a latch on each side. And you may have to pull these down, put some pressure on them to get that down, because we do want good compression on all your seals. Now once everything is down, you're ready to go as long as everything else is stored and ready for travel. Now once you get to your park, let me show you how to put it up. It's just going to be the opposite, but let's go ahead and show that. So we're going to unlatch our panels first. Now once we get here, if you let it go, it's just going to pop up, and it's going to kind of ride right there. So all we got to do is put our hands underneath the back roof panel again, and we're going to push up. And if you get it going with enough momentum, it should pop right into place. Now if you go too fast, you may overshoot it. So just give it a nice steady push, but once you get it all the way up, you should see the two panels nice and mated together up there at the top. Now if you get them crooked where one side went in and the other side didn't, you can just go around to the other side and give it a little push, it'll pop right in. All right, now to stand our roof, our side panel up here, again, grab your door so you can control where it goes. Put your other hand just inside the door frame. Now just remember, anytime you're doing this, these can be pinch points, so don't smash your fingers. And we're just gonna lift. Again, remember we've got to control that door so we don't run into the roof panel. And go ahead and get that first latch taken right inside the door there. And now we can do our other roof, or our other side panel. Get that latched, get that one latched, and then do our last one over here. And now you're basically ready to camp. Don't forget to reattach your door panels together here with this latch. And you're ready to camp. All right, guys. That takes care of our 2020 Aliner Scout Parks model. But if I have missed anything or you have any further questions, don't hesitate to give us a call here at Princess Craft RV.